So sorry. I don't know what to tell you. No way I'm helping you people put Jesse Pinkman back inside a cage.
What is going on, everybody? Jamie Baker here on Film Burn, the thermostat of pop culture, bringing you the hottest takes from Hollywood and beyond. And today we're going to have a sort of a skeptical, slightly concerned discussion about the upcoming Breaking Bad movie El Camino. Breaking Bad, a show that needs no introduction, a show that stands as one of the greatest and most consistent pieces of television to ever grace the box, and in my eyes a show that was so neatly wrapped up by the time it concluded that to touch this IP again and risk tarnishing its reputation is bordering on flat out madness. But here we are. After months of whispering and hushed rumours, we have confirmation that El Camino is not only a real thing, but it's been filmed, edited and scheduled for release on Netflix in October. Of course, the announcement came in the form of a teaser trailer featuring one of Jesse's old, methed out dealer buddies, Skinny Pete. And a spoiler warning for Breaking Bad on the whole from here on out. He's in an interrogation room surrounded by cops or DEA agents who are quizzing him about the whereabouts of Jesse, to which he claims to have no information. Look, generally speaking, Skinny Pete was okay throughout the show. We got him in relatively small doses. He had some funny moments alongside Badger and the homie who was popped quite early in the show. But I've got to be honest here in acknowledging that the performance during the trailer is not exactly top shelf. We get a close-up of Skinny Pete talking about the tragic stories he heard about Jesse's imprisonment, and it pretty much feels like something out of a school play to me. Of course, this stands in stark contrast to the incredible performances given by both Aaron Paul and Bryan Cranston throughout the entire show, and I'm really hoping that this character kind of just drops in here and there to play a small part in the story of El Camino. While very little is known about the actual film at this point, there are a couple of things that are for sure. The creator and showrunner Vince Gilligan confirmed that it will in fact be a direct sequel to the events that happened at the end of Breaking Bad. In theory, this means no Walt, although recently leaked images from the set of the movie show the infamous RV that Walt and Jesse cooked meth in during the early seasons of the show was in fact on the set of the film. This all but confirms that Bryan Cranston will indeed be reprising his role as the great Heisenberg for some flashback sequences, while also kind of considering how deafening Bryan Cranston's silence has been during the build-up to the film's release, and how hard it would be to imagine a Breaking Bad movie coming out that did not feature Walt in some capacity. So the title El Camino refers to the car that Jesse Pinkman escaped in during the final episode of the TV show, after being held captive for weeks and being forced to cook meth in that white supremacist run shithole. Symbolically speaking, I suppose the car sort of represents Jesse's path to eventual freedom. The last time we see him, he uses it to ram through the gates of his physical and psychological prisons, escaping the chains that had literally been put on him by Todd and his merry band of Nazis, and the metaphorical chains that he'd been kind of constrained by through Walt's evil, conniving and manipulative schemes. I think it's safe to assume that plot-wise, El Camino is probably going to follow Jesse on this path to liberation while he dodges ABQ police and the DEA, and he probably encounters some familiar, not-so-friendly faces along the road too. And hopefully this road trip will kind of warrant better results for Aaron Paul, who almost squandered his opportunity at Hollywood superstardom through the car crash of a movie that was 2014's Need for Speed. Whoa, 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 whoa!
Crazy.
Look, I stand by my belief that Jesse Pinkman is one of the greatest characters in television history with a gut-wrenchingly tragic arc, and Aaron Paul's performance throughout the show is an essential factor in that regard. But do we really need to hear more of this story? Of course this thing is going to blow up and become a massive streaming hit for Netflix, because on paper every Breaking Bad fan is fiending for more content to scratch that meth-induced itch that has gone untreated since the show's ending. Was there not something sort of poetic about the ambiguity of the last encounter we had with Jesse and Walt? I'm especially apprehensive because the entire package was just so neatly tied together with the show's finale. And while I myself have been desperately seeking something that can match the overall quality of Breaking Bad, I'm leaning on the air of caution with this one and really strongly considering the notion that some stories are just better left untold. Thank you so much for watching. I'm really keen to get your thoughts on El Camino and Breaking Bad in general. Is Breaking Bad the greatest TV show of all time? Will El Camino live up to the hype, the quality, and the high standards set by the TV show? Sound off down below, let me know your thoughts. If you feel it in your plums, then give me the thumbs. If you feel the vibe, then subscribe. Presumably, once again, I'm surrounded by boxes here. Probably boxes. Question. pushing on top of me right here. Please keep the boxes away from me. Jamie Baker, Film Burn, El Camino. Until next time.